Welcome to the Shift Your Vibe to Thrive podcast. My name is Emily Evans Russell, and I'm a single mom, multiple six-figure business owner, and master mindset and energy coach. I created this podcast with two main targets. One, to give you practical tools so that no matter where you are in your life right now, you not only know that things can shift, but you know how to make them greater. And two, to change your frequency so that you become an energetic match for everything you desire. I'm talking your relationships, your finances, your success, all of it. Think of this podcast as your weekly energetic upgrade with a mix of subconscious mind hacks, ways to quantum leap, and consciousness shifts. A place where you learn to sculpt your reality and actually finally truly have the magical life you deserve and one that works for uniquely you. Are you ready to uplevel your reality? I think I hear yes, so sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride. Thank you so much for being here. And now let's go to the show. Hi, everyone. It's Emily. This episode is actually going to be a short little mini episode with just myself and giving you an update of the frequency and the rhythm of this podcast. So far, I have recorded 22 episodes. They have been wonderful. I've had so much fun in this first season of the podcast. And when I began, I knew I was going to take like a summer break as a holiday to rejuvenate, come up with new content, new guests, and it is officially the end of May and the beginning of summer here. As you guys may know, I have two daughters, and this year they both had their mini graduations from fifth grade. So my youngest one is going to middle school, and then my older one will go to high school next year. And if you have kids or you remember being a kid, you remember how adults would always say, oh my gosh, you're growing up so fast, and you're like, I don't get why everyone's always telling me that. But it does. The years go by really quickly, and summer is one of my favorite times to be with my girls because I do work from home. And so there's no schedule of getting them to school or picking them up. And there's just all of this free space to enjoy each other, to be the taxi for the summer, taking them places, swim, go hiking, and spend a lot of time creating for myself and my business. And I've always been a person who loves to work in waves. I like to have times of great output and then times where I more retreat and kind of be a hermit and study and read and grow and innovate so that I can bring that new content, that new information to my clients, to the people who listen to the podcast. So over the summer, I will be taking off the next probably 2.5 months. So that season 2 of Shift Your Vibe to Thrive will start, I'm guessing mid-August, probably a September time. I'm also will be launching a new program around that time in the fall. So I'm spending the summer allotting myself lots of nice big time chunks where I can go deep into creation and also deep into play. So I know some of you in the world, depending on where you live, are also going into summer. Some of you are going into winter. But if you've never played with either taking, it could be a seasonal time, it could be part of your week, like one day, one morning, where you gift yourself this like actual chunk of time free from distraction. Your phone is off, do not disturb, we're not on, you could be on technology if you like to write, but I often just like to have everything off. I'm reading or I'm writing or I'm doing another course and getting information. But when we give ourselves that time, we really can go deeper and the inspiration comes to us. I'm very much of when I get the energy of something, I'm like, oh, great, this is getting downloaded and it just flows through me. And what I've also seen is when I create the space and the time, it's more prolific. It's kind of sort of like asking the universe, okay, I'm setting this time aside just for relaxation, creation, to see what flows through. And if you study like a lot of the older like geniuses of the time, I was just reading about Charles Darwin and his daily pattern. And he used to wake up in the morning and go retreat to his little office for an hour and a half and write and then go on a walk, and he'd spend a few hours thinking. He'd come back, he'd open the letters from people, and then he would declare his day done and go back the next morning inspired from just walking and thinking big thoughts and all of that. And I've been amazed at looking at that. Our life today is so much busier, right? And it's full of things on our calendar. As a single mom, I have lots of stuff going on all the time, an entrepreneur, and I love it. And what has happened to me in the past is if I don't actually schedule a block of time where I can just relax and allow inspiration to come through and allow time to write, allow time to ponder, allow time to be, it's very different. And when I've started to schedule that in and make sure it's a priority, because my work is here really I love finding new information, new tools, new resources, and distilling it down, making it simple, and bringing it to people in the form of this podcast, in the form of private sessions, in the form of group programs. And so I'm really excited to take this time for myself, but wanted to pop the idea in here. If you've ever played with that, it could be you schedule an hour a day or 1 day a week, or once a month, you take a half day, anything. Our schedules are all different, but just playing with this idea of giving yourself space to go deep and explore and relax and see what comes through you. So I am excited. I want to thank you all for being here, for listening, for your feedback on the different episodes. And I will see you, hopefully hear you all. I love your comments in season 2, coming in the fall. So enjoy your summer or winter, depending on what part of the world you may be in. And play with that exercise or that idea just of looking at what could be different if I prioritized a little chunk of time once a week or once a month, or get away for a week and treat yourself to this space where innovation, creativity, aliveness, joy, talk about shifting your vibe, can come through. So thank you again so much, and I will hear you, see you, hear from you, all of that in the next season of the podcast. I hope you got something out of that episode. If you like this podcast, please share it with someone you know who would find it useful or interesting, and subscribe so that you can listen to past and upcoming shows.